I have been waiting forever to see this movie before it was announced, and even a single trailer came out. I was so excited to see this movie when it came out. Was it worth the wait? Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice came out in 2016, directed by Zack Snyder, starring Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Jesse Eisenberg, and Jeremy Irons. The plot this time is Superman, once again played by Henry Cavill, is being viewed as a controversial figure because the massive amounts of destruction he could cause while fighting Zod in Man of Steel. Some viewed him as an alien who came to save the planet, and some who viewed him as an alien who came to destroy the planet. Bruce Wayne / Batman, played by Ben Affleck, wants to fight Superman because not only the amount of destruction, and not only was his business destroyed and the people who died he cared about. So it's going to be a battle of ideologies between Batman and Superman leading up to that big epic fight. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, is working on an evil plan. Is it kind of a cliche to say that I was excited for a movie called Batman and Superman? Batman and Superman on the screen for the first time. They're gonna be like fighting and discussing their ideologies. Like, oh my god, I was so excited. Then the trailers came out and I was excited up until a certain trailer that revealed a certain character. Yeah, I was less than excited and I was worried that this movie was gonna underwhelm. Then the reviews came out and it was gonna be pretty bad. So of course the reviews did decrease my expectations a little bit. So I went in to see this movie in 2016 with an open mind, tried to be optimistic, and it's a mess. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is pretty much a mess. Is it a bad movie? I don't think it's a bad movie, not really. Well, it came close to, but wasn't like that bad. Is it a good movie? Well, I don't know if I say so. However, I will get to the good things first before I get to the bad stuff, and there's a lot of problems with the movie, but first, good stuff. My favorite part of this movie, this guy right here, Ben Affleck, is fantastic as Batman. I wouldn't say he's my favorite Batman. Christian Bale still maintains in my heart as my favorite Batman personally, but I still loved Affleck's portrayal of Batman, and maybe when we see more of him in Justice League and maybe in future movies, maybe my opinion will change, but for now, Bale is still my favorite Batman, and Affleck killed it as Batman. He was fantastic. Another fantastic performance in this movie, and could they have cast a more perfect choice? Jeremy Irons as Alfred was terrific. Perfect. He's just the perfect choice to play Alfred, and I am so happy they're bringing him back for Justice League. He was one of the bright spots of this movie. And the rest of the performances are pretty good too. Affleck and Irons being the standouts, but the rest of the performances are good too. I'll get to Eisenberg later. Henry Cavill still is good Superman, still not up there with Reeve, but I still thought he did a good job, but I do wish he was a bit more charismatic Superman and a bit less brooding. I don't want to see a Superman just showing up in every scene like... I want to see a Superman that's like cool, charismatic, not just brooding and stuff. I don't want him to be just constantly cracking jokes like a comedian, just like, okay, to the point where he's cool, he's charismatic, just less brooding Superman. Amy Adams is back as Lois Lane, and I thought she did a pretty good job once again. The first appearance of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and I thought she had a great scene in this movie, her first big appearance. Definitely crowd pleasing, and thankfully she got a lot more to do in her solo movie, and I still can't wait to see more of her in Justice League. What comes to Zack Snyder's strength are the visuals and the action. He is a terrific action and visual director, and this movie is no exception. He knows how to direct action scenes really well, he knows how to deliver some solid visuals. Those two are definitely what his biggest strengths are. Many great action scenes in this movie. The fight between Batman and Superman, which was pretty much everyone who went to see this movie was wanting to see, and it was great. Although it was brief and maybe not as good as I was expecting, I still thought it was a pretty cool fight, and there were definitely some cool moments in that fight. But my favorite action scene in the movie, this action scene was awesome, is when Batman is in this warehouse and he's beating up a bunch of guys. Love that scene, that was awesome. And the visuals are terrific, although Doomsday I'll get to later. The music by Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL, I thought they did a pretty great job. Particular favorites are Batman's theme, although not as good as like Danny Elfman's theme or the Dark Knight theme in the Christopher Nolan movies. I still thought it was a pretty good theme. Also, I loved Beautiful Lie. Search up that soundtrack, Batman v Superman, Beautiful Lie. Love that. And that's pretty much all the good stuff I can say in this movie. Batman v Superman, like I said, is a total mess of a movie. Easily my biggest problem with this movie, the plot structure. Just, oh my god, there is way too much going on in this movie. So many pointless scenes that could have been just cutouts. Like, did that really need to be there? And this and that, just, I think this movie would have worked if it had, like, a script rewrite and just take out so many of the unnecessary subplots in this movie that really don't need to be there and don't add up to anything. There is so much in this movie that should have easily been cut out. Oh, and also, in the climax of this movie, it tries to set up the Justice League. And it was cool seeing these characters, but oh my god, the way they were just shoehorned in the movie was so lazily done. It was like, hey everyone, we're making a Justice League movie. Look at these characters, they're gonna be in the Justice League, get excited. And it was just like, what's the point in this scene? Couldn't you make that just a mid-credit scene or an end-credit scene? Just, why put that in the middle of the movie? It's like the movie just stopped to tease the Justice League. This movie honestly feels like a Justice League setup movie rather than just a clash between Batman, Superman, and their conflicting ideologies, which is the movie I wanted to see. When the movie focused on that, it was really good, but then the movie, just their plot and unnecessary subplots and just, ugh. Also, the appearance of Doomsday, he looks terrible. It's like, no, he felt shoehorned in, just, no, he really didn't belong in this movie, in my opinion. Now to the most controversial performance in this movie, and that's Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. There are some people who hate his performance. He even won a Razzie for Worst Supporting Actor in this movie. I wouldn't say he deserved it, maybe, I don't know, but there are some people who like his performance, I am aware, and if you like his performance, good for you. He was fine. I do think he was a little miscast. And I like Jesse Eisenberg as an actor. I think he's a really good actor. I liked him in Zombieland. He was amazing in The Social Network. I watched that movie a month ago, and he felt more like Lex Luthor in that movie than Batman vs. Superman. His performance is pretty much this. And that's Jesse Eisenberg's performance as Lex Luthor. And I do think he was miscast. And I admired him for doing a different take of Lex Luthor, maybe a bit of younger Lex Luthor we're not used to. I just didn't think it was executed well. No. Also, the scene where he puts a cherry Jolly Rancher in some guy's mouth and says, "It's cherry," and it's just like, Snyder, do you really want me to take that seriously? Really, Snyder? Also, another big problem with this movie, I don't entirely understand Superman's motivations for fighting Batman. It's very unclear and just confusing. I was like, Batman's motivations for fighting Superman, very understandable. You pretty much understand why he wants to fight Superman, but Superman's motivations just felt unclear to me. He's like, guy's in prison, Lex Luthor, he's not cool with Bat Vigilante. I don't quite get it. I really don't quite get it. I don't understand Superman's motivations for fighting Batman. Now we get to the controversial part of this movie. The reason why Batman and Superman stopped fighting. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I know this movie is a year old, but I'm just gonna keep it spoiler free in case you haven't seen this movie, and if you want to, I'll try to keep it spoiler free. It does sound like an interesting idea on paper. I actually do like this idea. There could be a lot of potential for this, but the way it was executed, it just felt sloppy to me. I don't hate the scene, it doesn't really make me mad. I just think it's wasted potential and a big missed opportunity in my opinion. overall, Batman v Superman is very, very disappointing. I don't hate this movie. I don't know if I necessarily dislike it. I just think it's a messy, disappointing movie that should have been so much better than it really was. Plot is all over the place, and yeah, it's meh. So overall, I'm gonna give Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice 2.5 stars out of 5. It's just an okay, very messy, disappointing movie. Easily one of the most disappointing movies I have ever seen. And this was the first movie that made me very concerned for the DC Extended Universe and the Justice League movie. Alright, so now that we're done with both Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, next week, the conclusion of the DC Extended Universe movie reviews. Suicide Squad. Is it better or worse than Batman vs. Superman? Next week. What do you guys think of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice? I know this is a very divisive movie. I know there are some people who hate this movie. There are some people who are in the middle, which is where I am, and there are some people who like this movie. And if you're one of those people who like this movie, good for you. I respect your opinion, and let me know down below what you think of this movie. And also make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new here. It really means a lot. I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.